Hi and welcome back. I am Michaela with TechWise Academy. Today we are going to be doing part 3 of our MakeCode hill climbing game. So in part 1 we've kind of set up the background. Part 2 we've actually gone through and added the car and added some physics to the car. So we've told the computer what the car looks like, that it's a player. We've told it to fall. This line makes it fall. And then we've told it to follow, the camera should always follow the sprite. We've also added this so that the car faces the right way. So when the right arrow is pressed, it looks like this. If the left arrow is pressed, it looks like this. Right now, our car does not actually move. It turns, but it doesn't move. So we're going to go ahead and get it to move, and the way we're going to do that is with another block that looks like this. So under controller, we're going to grab this one. The on A button is pressed, and when we do that, we're going to add a move sprite with buttons, which is going to be under controller. Yes, it's the first one. And we don't want move sprite, we want it to move car. And then we're going to press the plus on this so that it gives us more options. Right now, our car can go any direction it feels like going. So if I were to use the arrow keys, give me 1 second. Oh, I know why. It's because it says if A is pressed. It's because if A is pressed, that's why my car is not moving. We actually need to pop this into the on start. You can leave this here because we are actually going to need this for when the car jumps. But right now, my car can go anywhere it feels like going. And I don't want it to be able to go up. So this is the velocity. Velocity is speed and direction. So velocity X, that's fine. We want our car to be able to move left and right. So X goes left and right, Y goes to the sky. We're actually going to make this be a 0 because we don't want our car to be able to move up. We don't want it to change direction up. So we're going to put in a 0 here. And now when I do that, my car will fall. I can't move up anymore. Even though I'm pressing the up arrow, I no longer can move up. I can only move right and left. That's exactly what we want it to be. Now, if I go to a hill, I can't go through there because there's a wall preventing me from doing that. But 2, I can't actually move up yet. In order for us to jump, we're going to change the velocity, so the speed and direction. So the speed, but the direction that you're traveling in matters. We're going to use this one. So when we jump, we're going to press A. So every time the A button, or if you're using a keyboard, if you're on the computer, then it's spacebar. Every time we press this button, we're going to have it move up. From the sprite category, we're going to be looking for this set my sprite X to 0. And that's going to go inside this container right here. We're going to change this to be car. And then we don't want X to be 0. We want it to be, we are looking for VY, velocity Y. Because we want Y because we're going to go up. And Y goes up and down. And then instead of a 0 in that one, we want a negative or a minus 150. So now when I test out this code, I should be able to move up when the A button is pressed. Or, in my case, I'm using a keyboard, so when spacebar is pressed. Perfect, but I can double jump now. So I can fly away all the way back up to the top if I wanted to. Which is a cool feature if you wanted it to do that. But I don't want mine to do that. Additionally, the reason our car comes back down, so the acceleration, this block is still affecting the car. So the block that made our car fall to the very bottom, so this one right here, this is always going to be affecting it. So as soon as I hit start, it will always try to bring it to the bottom. That's why when I jump, my car comes back down. So that's the really nice thing about MakeCode is that a lot of the physics portion of this is built in for you. In order to prevent our double jumping, so jumping while you're in the air, we're going to put an if command, and we're going to see if the car is touching the ground, then it can jump. If it's not touching the ground, then it can't jump. And how we do that is under logic. This is a conditional block. We want this one. And we're going to, we're going to take this darker blue one and pop it in here. So now it says if true, then set will be able to jump. But we need to make sure that we're telling it what is true. What should the computer be checking? Well, it should be checking to see if our our player is touching a wall. And remember, when we set up our tile map in video 1, we actually put walls over this. So right now my character is touching a wall. From scene, we actually have the block that says, is my character touching a wall? And I'm looking for that one. It is in, I believe it's towards the bottom. Under locations, it is my sprite hitting the wall left? We're going to drag that out, and instead of where it says true, so we're going to check if my sprite is hitting the wall left, and you'll notice that this little arrow this little red circle is coming up. That's trying to show me where it's trying to plug it in. So I can drop it in there. We'll change my sprite to be car, and we don't want it to see if it's hitting a wall to the left of us, because there's not, it's going to fall again, there's not a wall to the left of us. The only walls that are in the game are if I am on the ground, or if there's a hill over here. If I was on the other side of this hill, then we could have a wall to the left, but I'm not on that side. So I need to make sure that it's on the bottom. So we'll change that to be bottom. So now if my car is touching the bottom, then I can jump. I can't double jump anymore, despite the fact that I have tried to spam the spacebar essentially. This would be a really great time to check out your game to make sure that it works. If it doesn't work, you might be able to change this number so that the car jumps differently. Also, yes, I know that I just ran over a gas can and it didn't do anything. That is going to come in video 4. I am just testing to make sure that I can actually, as the player, oh, that's an issue. I knew that was going to be an issue. If that's an issue, all I have to do is go through my tile map, and it's this right here. So I'm going to go back and add some grass to that area so that way I don't have to change the code, because I'm actually pretty happy with how my car jumps so far. I'm going to put 1 right there too. And while I'm at this, I do have to go through and add some walls, because otherwise, while yes, I could leave it like that, my car would just drive through that. So now I can hit done. It's going to have to restart because I did just change the code. And since I can't double jump anymore, it might have been easier to check to make sure my car can get over it while it's double jumped, but this will be okay. And I know that my hill was coming up. I actually might have been that hill. I think it was that hill. So now I can go through. Oh, I might not be able to get back up though. Perfect. And we've not coded it to win yet. So stay tuned for the next video. The next video will cover how to get the gas can and making sure that the gas cans are only used one time, as opposed to driving over it, making the timer start again, and going over that. So we'll be adding a timer next video, and we'll be adding some gas cans. So play around with it, test out your game, and let us know how it worked. Have fun!